everyone. Welcome back to our channel, English Stories. I'm Jasmine, and I'm so happy you're here with me today. On this channel, we share beautiful and emotional, engaging English stories that will inspire, heart-teaching, and entertain you. If you enjoy our content, don't forget to like, subscribe, and share with your friends. Now, let's get started. This story, A Husband's Secret Past. My name is Olivia. I'm 32 years old. I have a son named Ethan. He is 9 years old. I got married 3 years ago to my husband Daniel, who is 37. I had been married before, but it didn't work out. I met Daniel at a mutual friend's wedding when I was 28. He was 33. From the first moment we talked, I felt a strong connection. We exchanged numbers and talked almost every day. Every conversation felt easy, natural, and exciting. Weeks passed before we met again, but when we did, I knew I wanted to be with him. Daniel had never been married and he didn't have children. I told him about Ethan and he was excited to meet him. He seemed perfect in every way, kind, charming, attentive, and patient. I loved how he always noticed little things about us and tried to make us happy. At first, everything felt wonderful. We laughed together, went on small trips, and even planned little family weekends. But one evening, while visiting his apartment for the first time, I noticed an old box tucked away on a high shelf. Curious, I asked what it was. Daniel hesitated and said it was nothing important, just old things he didn't need anymore. I didn't push, but a small seed of doubt started growing in my mind. A few weeks later, while Daniel was at work, I couldn't stop thinking about that box. Something in me wanted to understand his past completely. When I opened it carefully, I found letters, photographs, and old mementos from a woman named Clara. My heart sank. These weren't just random things, they were memories kept for years. I felt a wave of fear and confusion. Who was she really? Why did he keep all of this? When Daniel returned home, I asked him gently about the items. His face changed slightly, a shadow crossing his usual warm smile. He admitted that Clara was his first love. They had been together for 5 years, very serious and very young when they met. They broke up because she moved to another country for work. He said he had moved on, that she was part of his past, but I couldn't shake the feeling that there was more to it. Every time he spoke about her, there was a hint of sadness in his eyes. I wanted to ask more questions, but I didn't want to seem insecure or controlling. Months passed and we continued our life, but gradually I noticed small changes. Sometimes Daniel would disappear for hours, claiming he needed time for work or to meet friends. Sometimes he would stare at old photos or letters, lost in thought. I tried to tell myself it was normal, that everyone remembers the past, but my heart kept reminding me that something wasn't right. One afternoon, we went to a city festival with Ethan. The streets were full of lights, music, and laughter, but suddenly, Daniel froze. I looked at him and saw that he was staring at a woman across the crowd. My heart stopped. It was Clara. I didn't know what to do. He didn't approach her or even wave. He just watched her quietly from a distance, his face full of longing and sorrow. I felt fear, jealousy, and heartbreak all at once. Was I really enough for him? Would he ever feel the same way about me that he felt for her? After we left the festival, I couldn't stop thinking. That night, I asked him again, "Daniel, do you still love her?" He got defensive, saying I was imagining things and overthinking, but I knew something was wrong. Later, I noticed him calling an old friend, asking about her life, wanting to know what she was doing, where she worked, even who she was with. It hurt me deeply. I felt invisible, like I was not enough, like I was living in the shadow of his past. The next few weeks were the hardest. Daniel became distant, quiet, and sometimes irritable. He didn't laugh at my jokes, didn't hug me as much, and our conversations became short and empty. I tried to talk to him, to understand him, but every time I mentioned the past, he shut me down. I loved him, but I couldn't compete with someone from years ago. I wanted to feel loved, cherished, and secure. I wanted him to focus on us, on Ethan and me, but it felt like his heart was always somewhere else. One night, I stayed awake thinking about everything. I remembered the early days of our relationship, how happy we were, how much laughter we shared, how Daniel used to hold Ethan and me close. But now it felt like all of that had been replaced by shadows of the past. I realized I had a choice: stay and hope he would change, or leave and find happiness for myself and my son. My heart was heavy, but I knew what I had to do. The next morning, I sat him down. I took a deep breath and said, "Daniel, I need to know you are here with me. I need to feel that I am the one you care about. If you can't give me that, I have to leave." His eyes widened in surprise. He said he loved me, that Ethan and I were his priority, but his words no longer felt enough. I needed actions, not just promises. I needed to feel like I mattered every single day. It was the hardest decision of my life, but I left. I packed our things and Ethan and I started a new chapter. Slowly, we rebuilt our lives. We laughed more, spent quality time together, and I felt lighter, freer. I realized that love is not just about feelings. It's about actions, presence, and respect. I will always remember Daniel and the lessons I learned, but I also know that I deserve someone who makes me feel loved every single day, not second to a secret past. I learned that it's okay to walk away from someone you love if they cannot choose you fully. Happiness is not selfish. It's necessary for you and your family. Ethan and I are happier now, stronger and closer than ever. We don't live in the shadows of someone else's memory. We live for ourselves, and that's the most beautiful feeling. Thank you for watching. If you enjoyed this story, please give it a thumbs up and share it with your friends. Don't forget to subscribe and hit the bell icon to get notified for more English stories. Your support means a lot to us. See you next time.